Here's Rush Limbaugh on the Talk of the Town, 1150 WGBR. More broadcast excellence right straight ahead here on the Rush Limbaugh program, the Excellence in Broadcasting Network, 610 radio stations, 20 million people as tabulated domestically listening to the program. In addition to the EIB World Service, shortwave on 15.420 megahertz.
This is a special edition of the Rush Limbaugh program, America Held Hostage. And now, from our studios in New York City, here is Rush Limbaugh.
Thank you, Johnny Donovan. Day 147 of the Raw Deal, 1,313 days. So the liberals support you for doing it. But they get hamstrung by the same philosophy in reverse because they have been so critical of others and they're like this witch hunt on sexual harassment or whatever, that when appointing themselves, see, they must be perfect. They're going to be perfect in every way. They have to be diverse, they've got to be colorblind, they've got to be this, and they find out that none of them are. And so they've actually paralyzed themselves by discovering that everybody has a flaw. A flaw that violates liberal orthodoxy. The Journal theorizes this is why Stephen Breyer's not there. That Breyer's not there because they found this guy is moderate, too conservative lately. And they raise a good question. Look, why doesn't this guy appoint a liberal? Why doesn't he appoint Somebody like Lawrence Tribe or somebody who's really going to remake and shape the court the way they want, instead of appointing somebody who's being called a healer. I think this is a Washington Post headline. Clinton appoints Ginsburg to heal the court as healer. What's wrong with it? I did not know the court was sick. This is part of this liberal arrogance. Well, there's too many conservatives there. We need to heal it. Too many conservatives on the court means a giant bleeding, oozing wound. And we need to put gauze on it. We need to heal the court. This is typical liberal speak. And it's fascinating. I must also tell you, this is something few people do. Remember when I was on Meet the Press? And Tim Russert snuck in that question. So you got any thoughts on the Supreme Court? Maybe appoint a moderate Democrat? I said, no way, Tim. I don't think he's going to appoint a liberal. And he didn't. He's appointed a moderate centrist. He's got somebody in the mainstream. She's no doubt, she docks on the left bank when she ties up from floating in the mainstream, but she's, well, she does. You will not believe this. There's this magazine, Steppin' Out magazine. And it is published over in New Jersey, published in Westwood, New Jersey. And they sent us a fax today of a story written by Chauncey Hayden that will run in the June 17th issue. June 11th, I'm sorry. Well, hell, it's now. It's out there now. I thought we were getting an advance copy. So, it's good. I can go ahead and tell people what's in this thing. I thought I had to embargo this thing. It's an interview with Roger Clinton. And Roger Clinton, who we all know has had a rather storied and checkered past, and whose accomplishments are difficult to find and chronicle, whose main claim to fame is reincarnating the image of Billy Carter and taking it even lower. So they asked Roger Clinton about me. Would you listen to this? Speaking of radio personalities, what's your opinion of Rush Limbaugh? Roger Clinton: I think he's a joke and an embarrassment. I think he's very symbolic of why this country's in the shape that it's in. Question: well, he makes no secret that he thinks your brother shouldn't be president of the United States. By the way, have I ever said that? I mean, he was elected. I mean, I've never said he shouldn't be well, I did back then, but now the election's over. How are we going to... A minor point, but still a mischaracterization of my view. Question again: well, he makes it no secret that he thinks your brother shouldn't be president. Roger Clinton's answer: Limbaugh has no heart. He's not an American. All he wants to do is put the leader of America down every day. He's not even willing to compromise or support my brother in any fashion. Whenever you claim to be an American and then you publicly put down the leader of America, then that's a double standard and you're not an American. You shouldn't even be able to claim that you're an American, and you sure shouldn't be allowed to have a television or radio show. That's an embarrassment. Can you imagine that his television shows taking up a valuable time slots could be used to educate children? Instead, you got some fat pig on the TV that couldn't think his way out of a damn box of alphabet cereal. He's a joke. Question: does your brother consider Limbaugh to be a problem? Roger Clinton: no. How could he be a problem to anyone? He's just a disgusting individual. Rush Limbaugh's a traitor. Whenever you're a part of a country and you don't support the leader, you're a traitor, period. And if he's a traitor, then let's get him the hell out. I'm sick of him. I thought I was not a problem to anyone in the first sentence of his answer. This is, I think, it doesn't deserve much comment. It's the rantings and ravings of a lunatic, of one whose mind has been fried on substances illegal, and one in desperate search of fame. Now, what were you saying? What are you saying? Well, I don't want to. Look. The only thing I like here is you can't criticize Democrat presidents. You can maul Ronald Reagan. You can totally destroy Reagan Bush. You can lie about the last 12 years. And believe me, there is nobody better at it than Roger Clinton's brother, the President of the United States, in recasting the truth. Jay Leno had a great line last night. Do you know this new the Prime Minister of Canada is a woman, and she has posed nude. Jay Leno says, man, I can't wait for that first summit between Clinton and this gal. So, we're gonna kind of excerpt this and make little bumps out of it on the television show. We're going to find a picture of Roger Clinton in his normal state, cross-eyed and confused, and put a picture of that up there in a postage stamp, and have some of these quotes. We got a great debut yesterday in Washington, D.C. at the Rush Room at Blackie's. Over 200 people. Blackie's House of Beef, Lo Bianco. What did you think? What are you smirking at? Blackie's House of Beef. Yesterday was the debut. Well, maybe it was last week. Was the debut? I think it's last week. Yesterday was the 1 week anniversary. Yesterday. Did I say yesterweek? Trying to say too much here fast. Too much here, folks. Too soon. They had over 200 people in there, and the Washington Post style section has written this up. Lois Romano wrote it up very accurately and fairly and properly. And there are 5 new lunch rooms opening today or soon, and I have the list here, and I'll do those. Mention those during the course of the program. I do know, ladies and gentlemen, this is run on the Associated Press wire. I do know that the First Assembly of God Church in Charlotte, North Carolina, is conducting a summer Bible study class based on how much of what I say can be backed up by the Holy Scripture. Were you aware of this? Lo Bianco, did you know this? Yes, this church down there is trying to pique interest at attendance of Bible school. And so they're running a summer-long class on how much of what I say is after the Bible. And people have been faxing me this from all over the country as it's run in newspapers, and I'm very much well aware of it. I've got my first critical column of this today from, and I'm sure that there are going to be many more on this. No, it's not a column by Moses, but it's a woman who thinks that she is. And it's a woman who doesn't ever listen to this show nor understand. Or she does, but not enough. Anyway, I'm well aware of that. Now, I'm not going to comment on her column. I'm just simply responding to all of the, hey, Rush, do you know that? Yes, my friends, I'm the host. I indeed know. Well, there is a lot of discussion continuing today over the president's behavior at Brit Hume's question in the press conference. And my opinions on this have run the gamut. I've finally come to a conclusion. We'll talk about that plus your phone calls. Don't forget that Judge Ginsburg is still the nominee. After 24 hours, the president continues to stick by her in a rare show of solidarity. We'll be back after this.
You're listening to the EIB Network.
Picture the average carpet store, rows and rows of samples. It's all you see. But now imagine walking in there trying to choose one carpet that'll be a perfect match for your room. It's not possible. That's why FCI makes so much sense. They come directly to you. With the carpet store at your door, you can select from over 3,000 choices of top brand names in the comfort of your own home, so you can be sure that everything matches perfectly. With FCI's Mill Direct pricing, you can match your budget perfectly, too. But the best thing about FCI is the service. Each FCI representative takes the time to help you select just the right carpet that'll wear and look great for years to come. Installations are guaranteed. Why, they even call you back later on to make sure you're completely happy. Over 80% of the people who buy from FCI have been referred by another satisfied customer. It's time for you to find out why. And you know what? For about $20,000, you can see about having your own FCI franchise. Call 800-967-3444. That's 800-967-3444.
Hi, my name is Kayleen. I'm 5 years old. Last summer, my mom gave me Hooked on Phonics, and I learned to read. It was fun. When I started kindergarten, I was the best reader in my class. This summer, you should try Hooked on Phonics. Maybe you can learn to read like me.
Call 1-800-ABCDEFG.
This is a special announcement. Orman's Furniture and Appliances is the largest independent GE and Amana dealer in Wayne and Johnston counties. Because of this, we must sell volume, bringing you the lowest prices in town. Now Orman's would like to become one of the largest furniture outlets. To accomplish this, we must lower prices. This change will be effective immediately. Prices have been lowered on name brands such as Bassett, Broyhill, Lane, Brookline, American Drew, and Simmons Bedding. Here's one example. 6-piece all-wood dining room suite for only $399 with table and 5 chairs. Orman's is offering no high-pressure sales pitch, no frills, no tricks, just one low price. If our price is not the lowest, we will pay you for your trouble for finding it elsewhere. Ask a salesperson for details. These prices will be offered from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. Saturday. Cash, checks, Visa, and MasterCard are accepted. Financing is available. Shop Orman's newest location at 1204 North Berkeley in Goldsboro and Orman's in Smithville, Selma, Highway 301 and Orman's Plaza.
It's not the percentage off you get on the merchandise you buy, it's what you pay that counts. Monk's Furniture has revolutionized the way you buy furniture. Low, deeply discounted furniture on sale every day. Salespeople authorized to give on-the-spot discounts. A great selection of name brand furniture in Monk's 22,000 square foot showroom and a low-key, no-pressure approach to doing business. Monk's calls it shopping the warehouse way. You'll call it a great deal. There's a difference in furniture stores. Monk's Furniture, Highway 70, LaGrange.
Monk's has everything you expect from your furniture store.
Knowles Carpet has been serving Goldsboro and Wayne County for over 45 years with quality installation of carpet and floor covering. Family dedication to this business has been enjoyed by thousands of customers. Joining Carpet One 5 years ago gave Knowles Carpet the additional buying power of 450 other stores to bring you the best prices available. Put it all together and it means quality floor covering and expert installation by a truly family dedicated business. Knowles Carpet, your Carpet One store, 2311 Wayne Memorial Drive, Goldsboro.
You're listening to the Rush Limbaugh Show on 11. Golden Platinum Treasury Collection, Crytel Records presents Presidential Gold Volume 2. You'll get Boy George.
I know all there is to know about the crying
Jackie Wilson.
My heart is fine, fine. Still only teardrops.
The Rolling Stones. The Everly Brothers.
All my sorrow and pain, I'll do my crying in the rain.
And dozens more with Presidential Gold.
But ain't you understand the tears of a clown?
All the songs that bring a nation.
You say slow down. I don't like to move too fast. It drowns the truth with things that are not.
This summer, you can take your family to the only place on Earth where living fossils roam in their natural environment. Congressional House Pictures presents Steven Spielberg's Geriatric Park.
Stand back there, Billy. It's 2 o'clock. Senator Metzenbaum could wake up at any minute.
Scientists have cloned the cells of New Deal Democrats, and despite their harmless appearance, they can be extremely dangerous.
Oh, my God. Tom Foley is coming toward me. What do I do?
Don't worry. They never attacks you when you stand totally still. Stare into his eyes and hand him your checkbook.
Geriatric Park, where disaster awaits at every corner.
Hey, Jerry, where the heck is your wife?
She fell into the entitlement tar pits.
That's it. Well, at least the government will cover those funeral expenses, huh?
Oh, good point.
Geriatric Park, home of the frightening Barney Francus Liberalis, the Carol Mosley Brontosaurus, and who could forget their leader, the granddaddy of them all.
What the heck is that?
Oh my God, it's the Arkansaurus Taxenspendus.
Geriatric Park, because no matter how many years pass, some things always stay the same. Coming soon to a theater near you.
DNA, available for cloning in order to create New Deal monsters. Extracted from a single nasal hair. From the nose of former U.S. Senator Alan Cranston. Well, there's a lot about tears in the news. Yesterday, the president shed a tear at the conclusion of Judge Ginsburg's acceptance speech, her brief remarks in the White House lawn. And this has given rise to our new presidential album, Crying. It seems that the man is quick to tears, but that's, of course, the new sensitivity. But the Limbaugh Institute for Advanced Conservatism has a medical and science research wing that works in concert with our health care reform wing. And we are hot on the trail of an exciting theory at the Limbaugh Institute for Advanced Conservative Studies medical wing. It's not just the President of the United States who has a problem with facial moisture, as in tears. The mayor of New York City, the embattled General David Dinkins, has a sweating problem. Sweats profusely all the time, always has a hanky, always has a swab, always has something there during press conferences to wipe himself dry. Now we discover that President Clinton has a crying problem. He needs a hanky, a swab, or some absorptive tissue during his press conferences. We think we are hot on the trail of the new phenomenon known as the excessive moisture problem that liberal politicians seem to have. It's possible. This is our theory that we're chasing down. That liberal politicians have an excess moisture problem that makes them different from normal people. It might affect their thought process. It clearly conveys an image. There's no question. You sweat a lot, you cry a lot, you do convey an image. Now, we are looking at it from this angle. If retaining moisture in certain people causes the phenomenon known as PMS, which is, its own kind of wackiness, could exuding moisture, and it's just a theory we're chasing. As I say, we're not buttoned down on this, but could exuding moisture cause liberal wackiness? You retain, you're one thing. If you exude, you're another. We're looking into this. There may be a room for these people in the military. The vocabulary of the average person stops growing by age 25. Your vocabulary is limited. Your potential for success is too. Hi, this is Rush Limbaugh. Verbal Advantage, Achievement Dynamics' powerful audio cassette program gives you the words you need to succeed. Just by listening, you'll learn word meanings, pronunciation, and usage, plus essential power words to give you confidence in any situation. To learn more, call now, 1-800-28-TAPES. That's 800-28-TAPES.
This is WGBR News, Goldsboro's very own.
This is Wayne Alley reporting WGBR News. While legislation in the North Carolina Senate would require a vehicle repair facility or mechanic to write an estimate for all repairs over $350 and for the consumer to give written or oral authorization for those repairs, it makes no mention of faulty repairs, unneeded repairs, or repairs which were paid for but not done. And Representative Jerry Braswell thinks it does not go far enough.
I hadn't seen the legislation, but certainly those areas that you mentioned, that's where I hear a lot of the complaints coming from. And again, my thinking is if you're going to put a law in the books, you need to make sure that you put one up there that addresses the problem so that you don't need to come back every other year or so and trying to amend it.
Representative Jerry Braswell. In other news today, Wayne County Commissioners represented the proposed 93-94 county budget today that does not raise taxes. In the event that proposed budget is increased, however, a penny increase in taxes will be required for every $250,000 added to the budget proposal unless something is cut. Commissioner George Wolf questioned during the June 1st meeting of commissioners whether they were going to raise taxes this year and again next year. Commissioner Hardy Sullivan said they may have to, but he does not think commissioners want the tax hike to hit 15 cents this year. He suggested commissioners want to be more realistic. Also, a question was raised as to whether a tax increase of 5 cents might be needed. The commissioners have made no decisions. Commissioners did instruct the staff in making up the budget proposal presented today to include $500,000 for industrial development, a $500 employee pay raise or incentive, $275,000 for sewer backup needs for the Genoa treatment plant, money for the cost overrun for courthouse and jail construction, and also to include a $500,000 contingency fund instead of the initially proposed $300,000. Wayne County Sheriff's officers investigated an accidental shooting yesterday in which they say a .25 caliber semi-automatic handgun accidentally fired while 16-year-old Bobby F. Hobbs of Lancaster Road, Pikeville, was placing a magazine in it. The investigating officer reported the bullet struck the victim in the left arm just above the elbow. And a fire at Mount Olive yesterday attributed to unattended cooking completely destroyed a $65,000 home. Mount Olive firemen identified the owner and occupant as Don Bird. No injuries reported from that blaze. That's a look at WGBR News. I'm Wayne Alley reporting.
Looks like some pretty typical June weather coming up today. A lot of sunshine, a slight chance of a thunderstorm later. It'll be fairly warm, and the humidity will be up from the way it's been, but it still won't be all that bad today. Highs up in the mid-80s. Tonight, partly cloudy, a risk of a shower. Lows in the low to mid-60s. Then tomorrow, a little hotter, though the humidity still won't be all that bad. Lots of sunshine, and temperatures climbing to the mid and upper 80s. I'm Bill Schmidt at the Weather Center.
Hi, this is Rush Limbaugh on your first information source, 1150 WGBR. Rush Limbaugh and the hottest radio talk show in East-Wa. Coming to you from New York, but as I am wont to say, as long as I'm here, it doesn't really matter where. here is 800-282-2882. We had a call yesterday afternoon from a guy right after Clinton's press conference who said, "Man, Rush, you should have seen what happened. Britt Hume asked Clinton a question, and he just smart aleck answered, and he walked off." I said, "Whoa, it sounds like a major breakdown." I get down to the television show. We have our production meeting, and everybody is of the same opinion as the caller, that the president looked bad. They played me the tape. I didn't see it. I saw the president not looking bad. I didn't think it was embarrassingly bad. We got into a little argument in the production meeting. I said, "Look, you guys have got to understand something here. Pictures tell the story when it's on the news, and this guy gets a standing O. He rips apart a news reporter. That's always going to score you points in America, whether he's right or wrong about it. And then he gets a standing O. Yeah, Rush, the standing O was from his friend. Doesn't matter. It's a standing O." And then he walks off. So I've been going back and forth on this whole thing. I finally have reached this conclusion. I think the whole thing was staged. Not Britt Hume. I don't think Britt Hume's question was staged. But I think Clinton knew that they were going to get that question at some point in the press conference. And I think it was staged to the point that whenever they got that question, that's how they were going to end the press conference. They didn't know it would be first. Clinton just followed the script. A guy that comes up with an answer like he did, "I have long since given up the thought that I could disabuse some of you, turning any substantive decision into anything but political process." How you could ask a question like that after the statement she just made is beyond me. That's prepared, folks. That is prepared. If it isn't prepared, then the slickness is even better, or worse, depending on your point of view, than people have suspected. But I think the anger was contrived. The biting of the lower lip. I mean, he really looked stung by it, I guess. I get the whole thing is the disingenuousness of this guy. And remember, as the Wall Street Journal points out today in their editorial, he volunteered for the job. And Britt Hume's question was not rudely put, did you think? It was almost, "Gee, hey, pardon me for asking, but golly, hey, I don't want to do this. Gee, I'd rather go back to the barbecue yesterday and start asking girls about the diamonds like you were doing. Did you hear about this? They had a barbecue for the press Sunday to try to mend fences with the press. 500 members of the press on the White House lawn. They have a barbecue, and they were pouring stiff drinks. The Carter years, they poured very weak adult beverages. Very, very weak. The Clinton camp, apparently, you order a Jack Daniels on the rocks, they give you the bottle and a bag of ice. Well, apparently it's pretty good. So, and there's a story, if I have it here. It's a gossip story. It's a gossip column story. Charlotte's Web is the title of the column. I guess that's the columnist's name. Charlotte Webb's New York Daily News. At the White House picnic Sunday, President Clinton exercised his considerable personal charm on female reporters by complimenting them on their jewelry. As reporters clinked the ice in their super stiff drinks, two female members of the press corps were heard comparing notes. Quote, "The president complimented me on my earrings," one bragged. Pause. "Really," replied her crestfallen companion. "He complimented me on mine, too." Pendants and necklaces also came in for their share of presidential praise as their owners passed through the receiving line. Please spare me all this. How you believe? Yeah, we're supposed to believe that journalists are hardened and tough, and they don't fall prey to these silly little charms. But when it's Slick Willie, here are these two women. Do you know what this story reminds me of? Here are these women comparing notes. They find out that both have had their earrings complimented, and they're crestfallen that he didn't notice her earrings specifically. But he's probably commenting all the girls on their earrings. So the line at the thing could have been, oh, you just say that to all the girls. And Clinton's response would probably have been something like, yeah, that or whatever it takes. I'm in Pittsburgh. This is 1972. I swear to you, this really happened. This is a true story. It comes under the heading of all women are incessantly jealous of each other. This is an example of that. And I'm at a place eating lunch. I don't even think the place is there anymore. It's on Liberty Avenue in Pittsburgh. It's called Mahoney's. It's a burger and fries place. And I'm in there with some friends. And seated at the table right next to ours are these two young women waiting for a third one to join them. Because there's a third chair empty, a third place setting, and these other two are talking about the other girl that's not yet there. And their claws are out, the cat-type comments are being made, yeah. And one of them says, this is the beginning of the waterbed craze. One of them says, yeah, did you know she just got a waterbed? She has to be the first with everything. What does she need a waterbed for? What is she, just jealousy, just a typical first on her block habit. And the other one said, their eyes got kind of wide. I swear to you, this is true. Her eyes got kind of wide. I said, oh, that's not the worst of it. You don't know. I mean, she's had that waterbed a long time. And it sprung a leak the other day, and the water was all over the room, and the house is great. Her waterbed sprung a leak. And so this other girl says, yeah, well, it won't be the first time she slept with a drip. I'm sitting there and I'm listening. I'm trying, you try not to listen. And I couldn't help but laugh. And I thought of that today when here are these women at the White House barbecue getting all upset that the president noticed all the girls' earrings. How shallow are you info babes, anchorettes, and reporterettes to have your afternoon defined by whether or not the President of the United States, who is, after all, a married man, noticed your earrings. So anyway, within the context of that, here's this big bash on Sunday to wine and dine the press, and then on Monday, it's let the press have it, to hell with you guys, I don't need you, and walk off to a standing O. I think the whole thing's contrived, I think the whole thing's set up. And I think that it was done in a way to try to send a message to the press that we're not going to take this anymore, we're going to let you guys walk all over us, or what have you. But I am now convinced that my analysis yesterday was wrong. I thought that this would not get the play that it's gotten and that Clinton would genuinely benefit from it. He won't and hasn't. Most people see right through it and are not impressed by the standing O and do think that this whole thing is contrived and phony. And probably the most popular guy in America today is Brit Hume. As people are, I'll bet you he's being sought by every radio show in America, except this one, of course, because we don't have nor need guests. But I'll bet every other show out there is trying to get him, to get the inside dope. And Brit just got married too. He just got back from his honeymoon. He's sitting there saying, yeah, maybe I came back too soon. Honeymoon's definitely over now. We've got a break. We'll take it. We'll start with your phone calls when we come back.
You're listening to the EIB Network.
Would you buy a pair of shoes without trying them on? A car without driving it? Then why buy a vacuum on blind faith? Hi, I'm David Orrick, maker of the 8-pound Orrick XL Hotel Vac. And if you call the factory, 1-800-989-4200, you can try out my legendary Hotel Vac in your home, absolutely free for 15 days with no obligation. The best part is it weighs only 8 pounds, yet it outcleans vacuums weighing 40 pounds. Try before you buy. Call 1-800-989-4200.
Ditto, the signature of the Rush Limbaugh Show. Ditto Head, the identifier of those who passionately listen. Ditto Head merchandise, the stuff that the Ditto Heads wear or use to be identified. That's right, coffee cups, t-shirts, sweatshirts, and the newest edition, the gold-plated wristwatch. Be it a self-serving gift or a jab at a liberal buddy, this line of merchandise is ideal. Order now and be the focal point of any conversation. 800-6-RUSH-91. 800-6-RUSH-91. Visa, MasterCard accepted. Order now. 800-6-RUSH-91.
Everybody gets hungry when they hear that name, Sandpiper Seafood.
Everybody knows that it's the place to go. You'll see your cousin Sally and your Uncle Joe. Their food is so delicious it'll make you say, if I had 3 wishes I'd be back today. Yeah, everybody knows that it's the place to go.
By now, everybody knows about Sandpiper Seafood, but not everybody knows why they're so famous. Well, here's just a few reasons. Maybe it's their hearty fish, their tasty shrimp, their succulent oysters, or their fresh coleslaw. Now, doesn't that make your mouth water? Well, now you know why everybody eats at Sandpiper Seafood.
You'll leave us feeling satisfied and wearing a grin, and knowing very soon that you'll be back again. Yeah, everybody knows that it's the place to go.
Sandpiper Seafood on Highway 70 in LaGrange. The place to go.
This week at the Pork King, Nahana Pork Center, you'll find great savings on these quality pork products. Fresh picnic, 69 cents a pound. Freshly frozen pork loins, $1.79 a pound while they last. Fully cooked smoked hams, liver pudding, and chitlin loaves. Buy one, get one free. And the Pork King has barbecue pigs for the pickin'. All sizes available daily. These specials and more are waiting for you at the Pork King, Nahana Pork Center, Highway 581, 1 mile west of Nahana School.
The Sign Source.
John Cox at the Sign Source in Berkeley Junction has all kinds of signs.
Special events.
John Cox can make you a sign just for your own business.
A business sign.
And he also has open house signs, welcome home signs.
For sale.
Yes, and boy or a girl signs, and there's a lot more.
The Sign Source.
How about a sign for an anniversary sale? Or special signs, any size for the inside or out of your business, custom made just for you. Call the Sign Source, 778-1717, or drop by the Sign Source, Berkeley Junction, Berkeley Boulevard, Goldsboro.
The Sign Source.
1150 WGBR, Eastern Carolina's home for the Rush Limbaugh Show.
Go to the Rush Limbaugh program. The phone's here in just a moment. Mac McClarty, Chief of Staff in charge of cover-ups at the White House, was on TV this morning and was trying to explain away, this is what's crazy about this White House, trying to explain away why Clinton got mad at Britt Hume yesterday. No, he doesn't like this. It's not that he doesn't like the press. Clinton loves the press. What he's just trying to do, she just made a remarkable speech to Judge Ginsburg, and he didn't want to go into process questions right after such a marvelous and moving speech. Well, now, let me point out to you the fallacy of that. We did this on television last night. He made the poor woman stand there for 10 minutes while he read off all the accomplishments and qualifications and positive points about Babbitt and Breyer. And so since he brings these two guys up and talks about how hot they were and how qualified they were and how great they would have been and how wonderful they are, it's only logical to question, well, then why did you choose them? How can you ask me that for what she just said? How can you ask me that for what she just, well, what she spent less time talking about what she thinks of this than you spent talking about the other two guys that were up for this. So we're just curious to know I mean, this is, I didn't do it. I didn't talk about those guys, didn't I? Maybe 2 seconds each. I just mentioned their names. Probably what he's thinking. Anyway, let's go to the phones. Atlanta and Scott, welcome to the Rush Limbaugh program. Hello.
Rush.
Sir.
Dittos from the embarrassed home of Hanoi Jane and her idiot savant husband.
What are you embarrassed about?
I don't want to take up my valuable time explaining that. I got a comment I want to make about the Ginsburg thing, but first, I've been waiting so many years to talk to you. Can I talk about a few other things first?
Go ahead, quickly.
Sure. Double speak. This administration is so good at it. You know, contributions are now taxes. The one that I like too is nerds are now wonks, which brings me to what I think the official movie of this administration should be: is Revenge of the Nerds.
We'll make a note.
Also, I'd like an update added to your thing, if I could, if you would, about Russiaphobe update. Because every time I pick up, we got the Atlanta Journal of Constipation down here. You know, it seems like once a week there's something in there negative about you.
Yeah, that's true. But you know something, and somebody got this right. I forget who it was that wrote. Somebody wrote a review recently. It's it was in TV Guide. It was Harry Stein, and he said that it is this contempt for Rush Limbaugh that has made him. It is because people like you who listen to this show every day and know what it's about and know what I'm about and know what I'm not about and know the things that are true and not true, read these paranoid, hysterical columns and you get angry because this is the show you love and listen to and you're being maligned along with me and you know it isn't true. And so it's that contempt which is really kind of enforced and strengthened the loyalty. So I would just suggest that the half-baked people who pay limited attention to this and think they're experts, just have them continue to write. I mean, it's been a key element to our success here.
That's right. That's right. Well, the reason I listen to you, Rush, is mainly because of the liberal media. I don't feel like I get the true story about what's going on. And I get it from you.
Thank you. Well, that's it. With a relentless pursuit of the truth is, I get an interesting letter. I cannot divulge any details about the letter, but there's a guy who lives in a city in this country. There's a newspaper there which is going to make up a board of contributors made up of average citizens. The average citizens, I don't know how many of them there are, but this guy is a member, and he's very much concerned about how to tell the paper that their bias is too much to the left and how should they get it more to the right. Because he says, I agree with you that it's not possible for human beings to be objective. It's just a thinking, engaged person. Just you can't separate what you feel, what you know, what you think, what you've learned from what you do if you're thinking, and you shouldn't have to. So what's the compensation for that? Well, as I wrote this guy back in answer to his question, just tell anybody that's in the media, you do two things. If you pursue the truth and do it and just focus on accuracy, even with your partisanship, then half the battle or more is won. And then, thirdly, reporters should actually report rather than rely on press releases, PR flacks, and lunches with good buddies and good friends. Actually get out there, dig, and learn what you're writing about, and then try to find the truth. And that's if more people did that in the press, then I think there'd be fewer charges and allegations about liberal bias. The problem with that is, though, that the liberals who are in the press who do have a liberal bias will not admit that they have it. They try to say, no, I'm objective, I'm fair, I don't care. Whereas most of the conservatives in the media proudly, willingly, and willingly admit it up front, as do I. I mean, everybody listening to this show, can you imagine what this show would be like if people called here and said, well, you're biased. No, I am not. I'm a centrist, I'm a moderate, I'm right in the middle of the road. I can't possibly be, you can't categorize me left or right. Can you imagine if I said that's what mainstream journalists do? And I don't.
Well, I think enough people have given them that message. Like you say, they refuse to hear it. They refuse to hear it. But this bias in our paper today, it was talking about the speech yesterday, and I've heard this from several other places, how moving it was and remarkable it was. How many of these people said that about Clarence Thomas's speech? I think he had to overcome a lot more than this woman did to get to where he was. And also,
he thanked his grandmother, thanked his grandparents for raising the nuns and so forth. Yeah.
And go back, have your TV show go back and look at the tape of the Bush conference when he nominated Clarence Thomas and they were together up in Kennebunkport, and compare that to yesterday's Dog and Pony show. And compare the speeches, compare the questions, compare how Bush reacted to the questions. I think what Clinton did was, I don't know, I thought he just blew his cool.
You know, that's not a... Well, but he did it on purpose. You got to understand, he blew his cool on purpose. That whole thing, that answer, they were hoping for that question. I guarantee it. Look, I was talking to a friend of mine today, and he was saying, look, this Ginsburg guy in Arkansas told us for 11 years this is what you get with Clinton. He floats people as trial balloons. He floats ideas as trial balloons. You can't pin him down on anything because he has no core belief. Talking about, not Ginsburg, but Paul, what's his name? Greenberg, Paul Greenberg. Yeah, and look, I don't mind talking about it. The guy has ripped me to shreds in some of his columns. But the fact is, this guy has been studying Clinton as governor of Arkansas for years and has written all about it. And he's sitting down in Arkansas now writing the I Told You So column of the week. You say, what's the big surprise? I can't believe everybody's so surprised. Well, I'm not either, because I was up to speed and